Hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Masters of the Apocalypse, EpiTalks. I am your host, Master B, the Bear Slayer, and with me is Vlad, the guy. Hello, Vlad.
Oh man, I have been degraded from slave owner to the guy. Damn.
Don't you rather
Uh
want to be a guy than a slave owner? Like, really? Isn't that an upgrade?
at least it's a title. At least a slave owner is a title. I
True.
also think last time I was a slave. Yeah. Hello everybody.
We all know he loves it. So,
Mm.
we are here to talk about another couple of episodes of Vinland Saga, and what a couple of episodes they were.
Oh
Episode
yeah.
21 and 22 were amazing.
Hmm.
Mm. And we have another situation that we had quite a few times now, actually, where the episodes very much lean against each other, where they feel like a part 1 and a part 2. And
Hmm.
I would also say in this case we have a part 3 that would be the next episode, which haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
But I guess you can see that as kind of the climax in a way to these
Hmm.
two episodes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are slowly crawling towards a epic
Mm-hmm.
finale. Yeah.
And so we start out with this episode where this is episode 21, where
Mm.
I think, am I wrong in saying that we follow Olma in the beginning, or are we at? No, we are at Canute camp
No.
first. That's right.
Yeah, we're at Knut's camp where the fighting has slowly drifted off, and we see all the aftermath and
Yeah.
the dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is where I want to bring up that in the last episode we talked about how the censoring didn't really bother us.
Hmm?
But I don't know about you, but to me personally, the censoring of the wounds in this episode actually bothered me. Like,
Huh.
it was too obvious. Like,
Hmm.
we,
But is that because I thought to myself, oh, am I noticing it more because you told me last time it was censored, or is it actually that the eye catching the black blobs of shadow?
I think what
It
it is that in the first episode or former episode, it wasn't so much the wounds as it was like the action that was happening. But here
mm,
there were several shots which focus like primarily on the wounds that they have taken. So
yeah,
like the wounds were the point,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
because
where
last time we saw the making of the wounds, so the
yeah
fighting, so there was a lot of action to distract from it, but this time that was only um, it was only the reaction to the aftermath.
yeah,
And yeah,
and they
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, I
became
can see what you mean. It is more distracting in that way.
yeah, it's just a bit annoying just seeing like the there's the focus on a chopped arm and it's just a black hole.
Mm-mm.
Like it annoyed me.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you there. Yeah.
hmm. But and we have of course Canute being absolutely awesome again,
Uh-huh.
where Floki comes up and is like, "Oh, my men are tired from sleeping in like a tent. Can we just take a few of the houses and use them instead?"
Mm.
And where Canute is of course all like all business, be like that would be idiotic. Like we
Mm.
need this farm in order to create money. Now your men wants to go and pillage shit.
Yeah.
Like, are you an idiot? That's what he was
Yeah.
thinking. Where
Yeah.
Loki, being the war leader that he is like pillaging is
Yeah, it's the right
the
of the
right of the
victor. Yeah.
victors. Hmm.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
showing how great Canute is as a character, where he is doing all of this with a greater purpose in mind.
Mm. Mm.
And this is also where we see the scene where King Swain, his
Oof.
severed head, is again talking to Canute.
Every scene with him as a head manifesting, haunting him. They are so amazing. They are so good.
Mm.
Oh, the imagery of all the bodies piling up, becoming this path to his goal. It's so good imagery.
Yeah, and what I love about that imagery, both is that they're showing it for how like how dark it is by just having this
Mm,
pile of bodies, but also like they mention how Canute is trying to build a path towards heaven essentially by
mm,
piling
mm.
his bodies. But what they show is that when they actually show like what heaven looks like, they show like a glowing like red color,
Yeah, yeah.
which
It doesn't seem heavenly.
no. So I'm getting that. What they're trying to tell us that he's not building a path towards heaven. He's actually building a path towards hell.
Mm,
Because what do you think when you think
mm,
hell, like glowing red color? I
mm,
think there's some
mm.
symbolism there.
Yeah, yeah. That was cool.
Oh, really cool. Like
Mm,
just the visuals of the show are just generally
yeah,
really cool.
yeah, yeah. Mappa, take a shot.
There you go.
Mappa, Mappa really again nails all the scenes where there needs to be a visual representation of something very abstract.
Mm,
They are just masters of it. It's so cool.
yeah.
Um,
You, you
I'm
know,
I'm
I had a
I'm.
thought some time
Mm,
ago where you know how we were like worried after Wit Studio went out and Mappa came to take the full rights of the second season. I'm wondering once the third season is announced, because like of course it will be announced. It
mm,
better be fucking announced.
yeah,
Wonder what if it would be hilarious if they actually have a third animation studio come in, and everyone
yeah,
is like worried again, like it's gonna oh no, it's gonna not be as good, and then they
yeah.
also
They are gonna
just kill
nail
it.
it.
But like
it's yeah. It's hard to to think of a way that another studio can do it better.
honestly, I would
Now
say just like do it on par would be worthy
would
of
be
a
amazing.
medal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
really,
Because Mappa has really taken the mantle and just run with it.
they have set the bar
They've really
so high right
so
now.
high. Yeah, they
I would
have.
think any animation studio that would be approached with the third season would be like, I don't know, you want to do this because they're gonna be compared to what Mappa did in the second season and what Wit did in the first season. So like they know they would have to work their asses off, or else they're gonna be laughed out of the industry.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe Q Annie could do it. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I would be willing to give them that would be my first pick if we can't have one of
Mm.
the two others.
Mm. But yeah, after that scene, what
Uh,
happened? Did we jump directly to Olma?
there might
Oh
have
yeah, we jumped. Yeah.
there might have been a scene with Einar in front of
Oh
Arnade's grave.
yeah, yeah. We needed to. Yeah, yeah. But you're right on that one.
Mm.
Yeah,
And here
it is.
I like what they show that we've already had the outburst of sadness when Arnade like first died, and now we have the like the quiet sadness
Yeah,
after she's
the
dead.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then of course he tries to find Thorfinn and find out what the hell Thorfinn is doing.
Mm. Yeah,
And
and he talks to it was Life. Yeah, he
yeah,
talks to Life there and finds out that Torkil has no Thorfinn. Sorry, Thorfinn has went to Canute to talk to him.
yeah,
Yeah, and then he bolts up to him. And then we go to Olma.
Yes, and Olma is really. I feel like Olma is the MVP of the first half of this episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. We finally get we finally. I feel we finally hit the conclusion of
Of his character arc.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Again, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him do what he needs to do yet.
But he's getting there, definitely.
Yeah, he's getting there, but we have definitely peaked because it has been a slow startup of his character, and a slow development where we have gotten small bits and pieces and. Until the last episode of the we are what the episode are we on now? 22.
What?
Are we on 22?
21 right now.
21. Okay. So I think it was in 20 where he tried to swim with his brother,
that was
right?
in 20. That was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. We finally hit something that could be considered as character development. But
I think we actually hit the character development earlier when after they escaped from what was it, yelling.
Oh, you're
and
right.
He was in the boat, just sad, looking at his brother who was like all pumped up, and his father who was like in the barrel, not wanting to come out, and he was just looking like at the ground or at the sea, not really. Just not really knowing what to think, I would say. I think the character development really started there.
Yeah.
But it came to a head where he, in the last episode, after he failed to swim there, I think he admitted it to himself there. That he can't be like his brother, and that's not who he is.
Yeah.
But in this episode, he admits it to his family.
Yeah, we have hit the point where Olma actually self-reflects.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's so interesting. I really like that.
It.
But yeah, what happens to Olma in this episode?
Yeah, well, first he walks among the wounded of the farm, where and it's rough seeing all the all the almost dead people, and where I like that we see these characters again who we haven't seen in a long ass time.
Yeah, the Lotta. Right?
I can't remember her name honestly, but
I think it was Lotta. Yeah,
could be. But
we haven't seen her since
one of the first like episode 3 or something.
Yeah, since she was introduced.
Yeah.
But yeah, we was it Otney? I fucking don't know. But okay, yeah, one of those. It's cool to actually see them again, and now they have another purpose in that Olma needs to react to them, and they are a catalyst for Olma to react to in this scene.
Yeah, and also his decision to wanting to surrender instead of fighting on, because he sees like the consequences of fighting the king. And I love how they establish that this girl actually likes Olmar.
Yeah.
And here they essentially like showed that further, where she when she sees Olmar, she's not angry at him or anything.
Nope.
Because she's worried for him. And all of that has to get to Olmar, I think, like emotionally. And I really like how the father, after he's lost both his hands, is like, will you please take care of my family and my dog, because he can't do it now.
Yeah.
And I just really like how these characters who had really like a comedic role before have this like serious interaction with Olmar here. And Olmar, I love how they show where he has a vision of that guy he killed, and then he just throws up, and I think he starts crying as well. Am I wrong there?
Oh no, he is crying.
Yeah, and
crying and barking.
Yeah, and what I love how they show this is that it's an what you could call an ugly cry,
Oh
because
yeah.
one thing that Hollywood does a lot is that they do the sexy cry, because
Ah yes, the one
yeah, the
tear.
one tear that goes down and where it's
Yeah.
supposed to be really sad, but the characters are still supposed to look hot as hell.
Mm.
But here
But
I
not
actually
here.
no, he's supposed to look like pathetic and sad and weak in
Yeah.
this moment. So they have him ugly
Yeah.
cry, and I really like this direction that
Mm.
they've taken
Mm.
it. I think it works a lot better.
Mm. Mm.
Like the emotions just hit a lot harder.
Oh yeah, it did. It did.
Mm.
So yeah,
And yeah,
we will get to that. But the next thing, when Alma is called up, I didn't see that coming at all.
where he's like declared the leader of the farm because Ketil is out of it.
Yeah, that
Mm.
that I didn't see that coming at all.
Well, before we get to that, we have to get to like Thorgil and like Ketil's dad. What's his name again?
Mm,
Swerker, wasn't that it?
yeah,
Yeah, Swerker and the
Smirker.
mom who's back again,
Yeah,
and Snake. They're
yeah.
discussing what the hell are they gonna do.
Mm.
Where of course the wife. Does she ever get a name?
I have a character list right here. Okusama. Kosama. Sorry for my Japanese or whatever that is.
I assume that's like more of a title or something. That doesn't
Mm,
sound like a name. Whatever. Okay,
mm.
the wife of Kato.
Yeah, the wife. Yeah.
She is understandably not happy about the situation. I don't blame her for that. I
Yeah.
do blame her for blaming Snake, even though Snake has been nothing but loyal.
Oh yeah.
Like, give props to Snake here that he is such a loyal dude. And
She seemed almost ignorant of what's happening. She really. It's almost seems like she. Oh well, you just haven't thrown enough stones.
yeah, you just
Keep
didn't
on
fight
fighting.
hard
I don't
enough.
want to change the way I'm living. So
You know,
yeah,
I'm
I really.
reminded of those stories about the people who were like they living rich lives, but then because of one reason or another, they are no longer rich, but they can't like go away from their rich lifestyle. They just won't
Uh,
acknowledge that they no longer have that position, so they
yeah.
continue to like try to live a rich lifestyle, even though they don't actually have the capability of it.
Mm.
And she throws that bucket of water at Snake, and
Yeah.
yeah, Snake just takes it.
I actually don't think was it because you see it as a bucket of water, but I actually saw it as something a piss bucket under the bed. You know, one of those medieval things.
No, I saw it
Yeah,
as like a bucket of water that they would use to like
yeah. Wash his wounds.
yeah, like wash
Yeah,
Ketil's
yeah.
wounds. That's how
Now that I think of it, it's probably that.
you know if it really was pee. Don't you think they would have made it more yellow? I don't know, maybe.
I don't know, but again,
Anime
almost
pee
bath
is usually
was.
yellow.
Yeah, but almost bath wasn't it just crystal clear or something?
Maybe.
Maybe. I really think anime there's three ways anime do bath. Either they censor it or pixelate it. That's the first one. Either they just make it water, or the third one they make it disgusting.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't remember what they call the almost bath at, but the but water in the bucket to wash the wounds makes more sense than a piss bucket. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I like how when Thorkel asks Snake, like, if we decide to fight, what will you do? And he's like, well, I'll
Mm.
fight with you.
He's
And
such a fucking loyal Chad, man.
I know, right? And I love how you can just see on his face that he's like, this is not gonna end well. We're gonna be fucked. But he's just keeping his own like opinion to himself. Or rather, he gave his opinion, but he's just loyal to the end.
Uh-huh.
And I love it. Like, go Snake, man.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Thorgil being the whoa, accidentally hit my own microphone there.
Oh.
How did that sound?
Is it still standing?
Yeah, I caught it.
Okay. Is it on the stand? Did you knock it off?
No, I caught it. Like I said.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, I'm also my Viking blood is making me want to punch stuff, just like Dorgil. Yeah. He's excited for more battle, and he's like, "Don't worry, Ma. I got this. Like 20 minutes enough. We can kill the king." And it's like I pointed out before, killing the king won't solve this.
Nope.
Because the first thing the next
But
guy
again,
can do is prove his worth
as
by
we
killing
talk,
them.
yeah, as we talk, but again, as we talked last time, the goal for what was it, the Torquil, it isn't to save the farm or anything.
No. It's to die a warrior's death.
Yeah.
Which he almost like says that word for word. Also was like, oh, there's no greater death for a warrior than fighting when you're like on when the enemy is more than you or something like that. And this is of course where Swerker brings up that Dorgil isn't the the master of the form.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, that's so cool.
I love
it's
how
cool that.
yeah.
No, it's just cool that not many episodes ago, Swerker was again, he was called senile and bedridden. So, but now again, we see that again. There's these pointers of just clarity from him.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see that now between these warriors, he just asserts his authority as probably the oldest man on this farm.
Mm.
So yeah, that's
you notice
very
one
cool.
thing that's really cool is how Thorgil, despite his attitude and despite his like physical strength, he actually like defers
Listens.
to both Swerker but also Olmar. Like once he's been declared like the true successor to Cato, like he actually accepts that his word is above his own.
Yeah.
That says something about both Dorkel's mindset and how this entire concept of like hierarchy works back in the day, where they took these ideas of a like leader of the farm. They took those things seriously.
Yeah, they did.
And one thing I want to bring up, like it might not have meant anything to you, but it distracted the hell out of me. There was this like a piece of meat like behind in the shot. And I don't know why, but every time they showed it, I could not take my eyes off it.
Yeah, I actually the last scene, we will get to that, but the last thing where Spurger talks, where that piece of meat is behind him, I just thought this must have some symbolic meaning, man. It must have some symbolic meaning.
Like it stands out so much because it's colorized, like compared to the rest.
Oh yeah, it symbolizes the pig that Olma couldn't cut.
So that's why a single slice has actually been cut, because now that he's managed to stand up to his brother, he has cut the pig. He did it.
He did it.
Wow. You know, if we're right in this, that Mappa was thinking that, then go us, I guess. But like you can find symbolism in anything if you try hard enough. So anyway,
but you're not the only one that was distracted. No,
by that
I was
piece
too
of
distracted.
Meat. Okay, good. I'm happy to know it's not just me. And so Olmar comes in, and he of course wants to surrender. And I love this how they showed Olmar, where he's like making himself small and he's looking very like not strong in that moment, as opposed to how they're showing his brother, where they're really showing the strength difference between the two, where his brother is like very strong and confident, where Olmar he's not. But despite all that, he still stands up to his brother and says that all of this, he's not with it, and he just wants to surrender. He wants no more death and destruction. And when it comes to his own actions in the past, that he acknowledges that he's been like too arrogant and not willing to accept his own flaws, and he's just been acting out of like anger.
And
And
shame. Yeah.
yeah, and there were a bit of difference between the Danish subtitles and the English subtitles, where in the Danish subtitles he says something like "I should be laughed at," where in the English subtitles they change it to "I should be mocked."
Huh.
And
What do you think that is the better?
I mean,
That,
both.
what do you think fits better? Again,
think,
we
okay,
can't talk
both.
Japanese, so we can't.
We don't know what the original is, but I will say, as I watched it back to back, I felt like it both work, but I felt like the English one felt more natural when I was reading it.
Huh.
Mhm.
For some reason, laughed at it seems more Danish. Do you feel me? Because again, they are Vikings, so. But yeah,
just,
it feels
to
more
me,
Danish to say that.
to say laughed at in this book, it feels more situational, where mocked feels more as a generalization to me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Huh.
And then I just also, when Snake afterwards says, by the way, one of the best quotes in this episode was that "I'm not laughing" or "I'm not mocking you," whatever, depending on
Oh
your
yeah.
subtitles.
Yeah.
I loved that, where he got major respect from Snake.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was so cool when they began to walk out of the door, approaching Knut's camp, where Seiki was 100% behind him.
Yeah, and Molochhaus Worker, he
So
says
cool.
that even though, my son, even though that you have lost a farm, you've gained your
Yeah.
son has become a man. Like, oof.
Oof. But mic drop.
Yes.
So yeah,
Come,
and
one of the best
that
coming of
is
age stories in anime. And
yeah,
he's
it's
not even the
so
main
cool.
character.
Yeah.
Oh man. I also want to bring
Yeah,
up
it's
Thorgil actually brings up some good points when he tries to convince uh, Olmar that they should like.
hmm?
When Olmar, he blames himself for the entire ordeal, but Thorgil, he does bring up a good point that even if they like Canute was gonna go after the farm anyway, so even if
Yeah.
they hadn't managed to like manipulate Olmar as they did, they would have
Yeah.
manipulated either Thorgil or
Yeah.
Keto.
Yeah. Yeah. Oma wasn't the reason. That he was just the excuse
Yeah.
to actually do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it isn't actually his fault, but
Yep.
yeah. So then we go on to the next scene, unless you have something more you want to add.
No. No. No.
Yeah, where we have Thorfinn talking with the King's Guard, and he wants
Oh.
an opportunity to talk to the king.
Mm.
And this is, of course, where he gets no respect from the other uh, like
Nope.
warriors there.
Even though he introduces himself
Mm. As
quite great, quite good. Yeah.
like quite respectfully, yeah, he's being very
Yeah.
respectful, and
Mm.
he of course mentions that he used to be a guard for Canute back in England, which earns him a
Mm.
punch to the face by Drud the Bear Slayer.
Mm.
And of course, it makes sense that Drud already figured out that Thorfinn was a former slave, and if you say like to like the personal guards of the king that, oh yeah, I used to be one of those guys, obviously they would take that pretty like personal.
Mm. Mm.
And this is of course where Drud tries to make Thorfinn go away by punching him, and Thorfinn just dodging everything.
Mm.
And I can't remember like when is it that Einar also comes around. Have they already started the whole bed thing by that point.
Yeah, they have. Thorfinn finds out that they are beginning to bet against and with him. So he makes the wager where he if he can take 100 punches, he will get to meet the king.
Yeah.
And I think that's the scary part of it. I think there's an ad cut, and after the ad cut, I just thought, we will probably get to the 50s after the ad cut, but no, we are. I think they start at 19. It's just jeez. Okay, they're gonna pull this out. But yeah, so afterwards, that's where Einar comes in.
Yeah, and he says like, "What the hell are you doing, Thorfinn? This is crazy. Just let the warmongers do their war." And where, of course, Thorfinn goes in this entire speech about how much that this farm actually means to him and how much he actually owes it. Like, it's because of this farm that he could meet Einar, for one thing, and he also managed to turn his life around. So he owes the farm a lot, even though some bad parts.
He was a slave on it.
Yeah. But to be fair,
in the start of his speech, I actually was, what the fuck, man? You don't owe these people anything. You were a slave on it. But as he
continued
went along in his speech, I got all these memories from back when he realized that his path right now is not one to happiness. It's one to ruin. It's you're right. If you haven't met these people and had these experiences, you wouldn't get to where you are now. So yeah, in a way, in a very loose way, he's right.
Yeah. Also, you have to remember, like, some of the people on these farm didn't really treat him like a slave, like Sverker or
no,
or Einar.
Yeah, or Pater.
Pater, yeah. So like,
Pater.
Yeah. So those people, I definitely think he owes a lot. When it comes to Ketil himself, you can make more argument for one. You can make an argument for one or the other. Like, we've discussed before that as far as slaves go, like, he was actually pretty lenient when it comes to his slaves, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not talking about him cracking
the last
and killing
4 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to me it makes sense that Thorfinn believes that he owes this farm a lot, because in a way he does, actually. Like, his life could have been so much worse if he had ended up somewhere else.
Yeah. Go on.
So so he decides to take those 100 punches, and this is where he also mentions to Einar that there's a trick to getting hit. And the way they explain it in the anime is sort of like how, like as soon as he gets hit, he kind of like
moves away.
Yeah, he manages to like
or moves with the hit. Yeah.
Like so that the force of the hit is like spread throughout his body, so it doesn't all of it go into his face or wherever he's getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the manga did a little bit better at explaining it. But yeah, it's like in the manga they explain it kind of like how he's moving with the hit, so that like when he's getting punched in the face, he's kind of like jumping with it, so that he's not really getting full on hit. Well, in the anime they more explain it like, he's spreading the pressure of the hit or something throughout his body. But I felt like the manga did a better job there.
Yeah, cool that you say that, because when they explained it in these episodes, I interpreted it as what you just said.
Yeah, because that's how it is in the manga. So.
Yeah, and also it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's the only way it makes sense. Yeah,
way that they explained it.
So
they almost just hand waved it. actually in the anime.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
But yeah, so yeah, I can see if you when you get the two different, not interpretations, but two different
Versions.
ways. Yeah, versions. I can see why you prefer the one that actually makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just think I just think I censored it in my brain. I just said to myself, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but this is what makes sense. I think you mean this. But
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, very very anime.
Oh yeah,
He
very.
moves very very quickly, very very suddenly to deflect hits.
Mm. And he does it
Cool.
in such a way
Very
that
anime,
everyone
very cool.
watching can't see it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Except for Wolf, because I guess he is so much of a badass. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about like it's at this point that Canute actually hears that something is going on,
Uh,
and he hears Thorfinn's name, and he very quickly figures
yeah.
out that who it is, and
Hmm.
he decides not to do anything about it.
Yeah, it surprised me. I really thought Canute would be not interested to meet him, but at least hear him out.
Mm. Yeah. So how did you interpret that? Like for why he didn't want to see Thorfinn?
I think I think he's so much in his path, um, path to victory or path to fulfilling what he wants, that he just sees Thorfinn as a bump, as
Mm.
something
Like a bump in the
unnecessary.
road.
Yeah, that he is. This is a unnecessary interaction I can make. I
Mm.
don't need or want to do this. Um, because again, last time he saw
Thorfinn.
Thorfinn, yeah, he again Thorfinn tried to kill him.
Oh yeah,
So
that's how he got his scar. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and
so
it was Canute who made Thorfinn a slave.
mm,
So yeah, I interpreted it pretty much close to what you did, where he's so far gone in his like path that he sees a potential interaction with Thorfinn as unnecessary, and
mm.
it doesn't his past and his past relationships doesn't mean anything to him anymore.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I
So yeah.
also
Mm.
I like how this is weird, but this is another thing where it's different from the manga version, where Floki he he hears that Thorfinn's son of
Oh.
Thor's, and he's like in the anime he's like yeah right, and
Mm.
that's just it. But in the manga he actually says something like at least in the version that I read something like the son of Thor's. Nah, it couldn't be. Like there are plenty of people called Thor's. So they
Mm.
kind of add a little more of
Ah.
why he believes that it couldn't possibly be the Thorfinn that he knows. And I
Ah.
actually,
Okay.
yeah, and I actually like that in the manga that they added a bit
Better.
more dialogue to like confirm like what he thinks.
Mm.
They're a bit more vague
Yeah.
in the anime.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I actually thought that he thought it was Thorfinn, but he was on the job, and he had other things to do right now. So again, I thought that he knew that it probably was Thorfinn, but he just had this small laugh that he's still alive.
Mm.
Cool. And then went on to working.
Yeah,
So
where
yeah.
in the manga they make it pretty clear that he convinces himself that it's not the Thorfinn that he knows.
Ah, well, that's very different.
Yeah,
That's very very different.
yeah, and we have to
Don't-
remember that Loki actually is the one who ordered Thorfinn's father's death. So he would
Yeah,
be. It would mean something to him if Thorfinn
yeah,
happened to like be alive and be there.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's a very big difference. I don't know if that's such a shame that they didn't. because it's very important
Mm-hmm.
to 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 make that very concrete of what is his feelings towards Thorfinn right now.
Yeah.
Because again, you have read it, so you know. But for me, who doesn't know if there will be a future interaction with Thorfinn and Floki, um, it makes it's very important of what that future interaction could
Could be like.
could be like. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, because this is I'm not gonna spoil anything, but if you're going to make a future interaction, it makes sense that throughout the story, as we see these characters, you would get a hint or a feeling about what these characters mean to each other.
Yeah, that is important. Yeah.
Mm. But again, it's very minor things, and like both versions work. I just feel like the manga version is just a bit better there.
Mm. Mm.
And yeah, then of course we just isn't it there we are close to the end of the episode where Thorfinn
Yeah,
is getting hammered.
what was the name of the bear killer again? Doris?
Drud the bear killer.
Dort.
Drud,
Yeah, but Dort
D-R-O-T.
yeah, Dort winds up for a big
Big
punch,
punch.
and then
And
we
then, yes,
big
and then the
big bad
episode ends.
punch. Yeah.
And then we come to the next episode, which pulls us straight into it, with Thorfinn getting hammered by Drud. And I love how everyone watching, they're just counting down in glee.
Yeah, they are still excited at this point.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
something we failed to mention in when they made the bet about Thorfinn taking 100 points, they also said that if he doesn't win the bet, they're gonna kill him.
Or Dort,
The guards.
or Thorfinn.
No, they're gonna kill Thorfinn if Thorfinn doesn't win the bet.
Oh yeah,
It just some adding some
yeah.
stuff.
So from Thorfinn's perspective, there isn't any way to win this. But he turned that around. It's actually very lucky that Thorfinn noticed that they are betting, because then he could bet in and make this a way something for him to work with.
Yeah.
Because before that it was just he's gonna die.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
Of course, the point of this is that Thorfinn is trying to find like a different way of solving his problems without resorting to violence, because that's been his go-to like solution for the most of his life. And he realizes how much this isn't right and doesn't work.
Yeah.
And this is of course where Thorfinn is getting the stuffing beaten out of him, and then Olmar and Snake turns up, and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" And that distracts Thorfinn, so he actually ends up getting a full-on punch to the head, which sends him flying.
Yeah.
And then he also like spits out a couple of teeth, and like, ugh.
Yeah.
And you realize that this is a relatively realistic anime, relatively. So he's not gonna grow those teeth back like magically.
Nope. He's gonna have messed up teeth
for the rest of the show, for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna see that.
Maybe.
Actually,
that would be kind of fun if they just showed him smiling at one point. He's like, "Dude, why are you missing?"
Yeah, he has some teeth. He doesn't have some teeth. Yeah. It would be cool. Yeah.
Well, that's for season 3, I guess. But anyway.
Okay.
So Snake, and mostly Snake is the one talking. He's like, "Why the hell are you doing this? Why didn't you just run away?" And then of course we have go through the spiel again, where Thorfinn he has to do this and all that.
Hmm.
And and this is where they gave him this look where his hair is
Oh,
like
he's just
over
messed up. Yeah.
his face.
Yeah. I really like he that's so weird that even though he's messed up and ragged hair, he's so cool still.
Hmm.
He looks so cool still.
Yeah.
Broken nose, everything.
Hmm. And I want to say something here. Like, this is my personal opinion, so you can roast me in the comments if you want. But
Hmm.
Thorfinn here taking these 100 punches and not going down, and just this entire scene is such an epic, badass, awesome moment that I consider
Yeah.
it on par with some of the most iconic anime, badass, awesome moments of
Whoa,
all time. I
whoa,
consider this
whoa,
on
whoa,
par with like Son Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, final Kamehameha
whoa.
against Perfect Cell,
Chill, chill
and
there. I can hear the pitchforks being sharpened right in front
come
of that
at me,
old
I'm
man.
fine. And this is on par with Luffy going like Gear Second against Rob
Jesus.
Lucci. Like, this is, to me, again, to me, this
Hmm.
is on
Yeah,
par
yeah.
with that.
Hmm.
Like, this is one of the most badass moments in all anime. Before it was one of the most badass moments in all manga. Now it's one of the most badass moments in all anime.
Hmm.
So,
I don't know if I feel the same way because I feel, at least for me, there needs to be some back and forth.
mm,
And in the physical side of things are very one way. Again, Dort just punches him, and I think in a way to really take that step up for me would be maybe some inner monologue from Thorfinn, of him thinking, and maybe thinking back to some moments that can psychologically get him through this.
mm,
Because I can only imagine this doesn't just hurt you physically, that this in some ways probably will mess you up.
mm.
So yeah.
Like, what clinches it for me is like the last like dialogue that he has, where he says
Oh
some
yeah.
like the last thing he says to Wolf, where he paraphrases his father, where he says, "I have no enemies," and
Mm.
it's so good.
Yeah, it's so cool. And
Mm.
oh yeah, and the thing that where I have only met you guys. I
Don't know
I
anything
don't
about you.
hate you.
Like, there are no reason for
Yeah,
us to fight each other or kill each other.
yeah, yeah. Oh, so cool.
And also this is something where, from an ideology standpoint, I really like the ideology of peace that Vinland Saga is promoting.
Mm,
Like, it talks to my heart, honestly.
mm, it's cool. Yeah.
Hmm. So so Thorfinn as a character actually talks to me personally. This is one of the reasons
Mm.
why it, like, the story means so much to me, Vinland Saga. Not just because it's goddamn Danish history that
Vikings.
the Vikings, like the
Yeah.
story itself, just without all the Viking stuff, talks to me on a personal level.
Mm.
So there's a reason why Vinland Saga is among my top three animes of all time. It's because it touches so many things for me personally. Like, it touches everything.
Mm.
Like, things that I like. Like, the only thing we need is some guy who's really into tea. Like, that's the only thing we need. That my entire character spectrum would have been hit, essentially. Hmm. So yeah, so he gets they get allowed to see Canute.
Canute.
Yes,
Mm.
and I love how the shift in tone, where all the guards, they were mocking him before, now they're showing
Oh
him
yeah,
full respect.
yeah, and also before that, some of the last blows he gets, there isn't any counting anymore.
Mm.
It's
They're just
totally
watching in
silent.
Silence.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They have stopped. Uh, they have stopped having fun and actually thought, oh shit, this is
This is
it could
legit.
actually be possible. Yeah, yeah. He he could possibly be Canute's former bodyguard.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I love how Drord at the end he actually apologizes to Thorfinn, and he says his full name like Thorfinn, son of Thors. You are a real warrior. Like, oh, that's so cool.
So cool. Yeah. Oh, the way the last three blows, 98, 99. They are just he's beat up, man. He's even beat up from beating Thorfinn up.
And he's so tired, Drord. And he's like falls, like he actually falls to the ground, where Thorfinn keeps standing.
So yeah, they get to move along and meet Canute.
Yeah, and where Einar he comes along, where he also has a lot of stuff he wants to say to Canute.
Oh yeah, it's so cool that Thorfinn turns around and actually invites Einar. Yeah, it's so cool.
It really shows like the amount of camaraderie and respect that Thorfinn has for Einar.
Yeah, he respects Einar's thoughts too, and thinks they are important for Canute to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And they of course walk by all the fallen, and where Thorfinn says to Einar that he shouldn't watch. Like if they see like Peter or someone they care about there, they won't be able to have a rational conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a strong scene.
Yeah.
Very strong scene. Yeah.
And then of course we get to finally, after 22 episodes, Thorfinn and Canute meet.
Shit, man, this fucking scene, so good.
Canute rules this entire scene.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Oh. Well, do we want to unveil the capits, or what do they say?
You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. You want to talk about it?
Oh man,
I've been talking a lot this episode.
Okay. Yeah, but the interaction starts out with Canute saying that even though I can't see if it's you because you have such a messed up face. You talk like Thorfinn would talk, so I believe it's you. And then Thorfinn confronts him in the way he's doing this, and asks Canute to change it and turn around and take his army and go back to, what was it?
Yelling, I guess.
Well,
or London.
What?
Go home.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah.
But Canute says that that's not possible. The thing, the way I want to accomplish my goal demands me to do this.
Yeah, I like how Canute he initially he gives off the phony reason that he himself made, but then he later on in the conversation he goes he stops giving up the false reason that he himself created, and then basically just tells him I need the farm.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh man, and then this scene again. He starts proclaiming. Did he proclaim himself as a god or something?
No, he gave himself different titles where he's just I'm the emperor of the North Sea, for example. The mightiest the mightiest Viking warlord in the world. I had thousands of ships at my command, and commanding 10,000 Viking warriors. He really gassed himself up there.
Yeah.
And this
fucking MVP.
Yeah. The point of the whole because the whole point of him talking about how amazing he is also to show that even though he's the king, he doesn't actually have that much power.
Yeah, and he does this the fucking most. It's one of the most badass ways ever ever seen. That he stretches out his arm and says, "Watch me stop the waves in the sea."
Command the waves and stuff.
And this, yeah, and this long, it just, oh god, it the scene where we get the payoff, it's so long before we get to know what's happening. It's just the pictures of the sky and the sea, and the sound cuts off where we don't hear anything. And for a second, I just thought, wait a second, what the fuck is happening here? Did he stop the sea? And then the sound comes back, and we hear the waves are still going. Nothing happened. And then he looks back at his hand and says, "Yeah, even though I have this army, I'm the king of all Viking kings. I'm still just a man with a vision."
And I'm fighting against God, and God, you can't defeat God. Only God can stop the waves. And this, also, of course, this is like the point of all this is how like in order to achieve paradise, he needs to essentially do everything he can. So he can't just so he can't just wave his hand and everything goes his way. Like he needs to do all these different things. And you want to know
horrible things.
You want to know the best. Like this entire like monologue of Knut is amazing. One of the best monologues in all of anime. But anyway, what you want to know what the best part about this monologue is?
What is it?
It's based on history.
Oh my god!
Yes, this the story of King Canute and the waves is an actual medieval story that may or may not have happened, but it's something that was written down like in the Middle Ages that supposedly Canute the way the actual story goes is that supposedly Canute's like followers were praising him and his great power and all that, and then he has them take his throne out to the sea where he commands the waves to stop to prove a point that even though he is this great king, God is the ultimate force in the universe.
God, that's so cool.
Yeah, the fact that they took that story that may or may not have happened and incorporated it into this in such an amazing way.
They have fucking done their research.
Yes. And see, this is what I'm talking about with fucking like historical fiction. You can do it really, really well if you actually try it. Like this is where me as a history fan, I'm gurgling all in happiness. Like where when I see Hollywood trying to do the same thing, they go more like, okay, we want to tell this fictional story, but we'll give them the names of historical characters. That means history nerds will also watch it. Then we'll just tell our own original story. Which, by the way, I don't like. Just putting that out there. I think that's a crime against humanity.
Yeah. Why not just make an original story and again not trying to wedge history into it?
Yeah, like you can make original stories and have it surround the actual history. That's what Vinland Saga does. Vinland Saga tells its own original story that's surrounded by actual history. Like Vinland Saga proves that you can do that.
And does it well.
And does it masterfully. It doesn't do it well. That doesn't do Vinland Saga justice. It does it in such an amazing way that I don't know, Picasso is jealous.
But yeah, I don't remember what the monologue was while it happened, but because we know that Canute isn't the best fighter. Again, he isn't on par with Thorkill. But the line of speech he did while all the Vikings, while all his men just began to surround him and surround Thorfinn and Einar, So cool.
I know, right?
Just
Just showing his
again,
dominance and the power he
yeah,
has.
yeah, and also that it didn't feel like all the Vikings were individuals. It was like
They were an
they were,
extension of his will.
yeah, they were an extension of his authority. Yeah.
Mm.
Oof. Oof.
I also
Yeah.
like how Einar he call Canute he makes the grand speech about like saving the Vikings, like because no one else will,
Yeah.
and that's like his job. And so he of course sets him up as being this like actual savior and good guy. Where of course
Mm-hmm.
Einar he calls him out on his bullshit, where saying that how many innocent like people are going to die so you can save these bunch of savages. Where he of
Mm-hmm.
course brings up his own experiences where his family has been slaughtered by the different rulers before.
Yeah.
And where, of course, Canute would argue that something like that is just a necessary sacrifice to reach the the end goal of a paradise
Mm-hmm.
where something like that
Mm-hmm.
won't be needed anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's essentially the go-to argument for why we should do bad stuff when it comes to rulers. That it will like in the long run it will help everyone.
Yeah.
Even if we kill these 40 million people, it will help civilization in the long run.
Mm.
I call
Yeah.
bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Like I remember one of my friends, like many years ago, he once told me that, oh, you know what? And that he had like a smile on his face, and he told me like, you know what? World War II was actually a really good thing. And then he argued that because of how like technological
uh,
advances and all that became out of it.
yeah.
And then I retorted back, you know, I wouldn't want to sacrifice 80 million people so that I
Yep.
can have a freezer. That's not worth
Yeah.
that. I would happily give away
Yep.
my microwave oven so that 80 million people could survive.
Millions.
Yeah, we're talking about millions here.
Damn.
Yeah, he dropped the smirk after that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful what you say
War
sometimes.
is bad. War is bad.
Yeah. Sometimes
War
they're
is very bad.
unavoidable, but generally war is bad.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, and afterwards, what was the cliffhanger in
Oh, it was that after they
this
got like
episode?
surrounded by his soldiers, he was like to Thorfinn, like I'm not gonna leave the farm, and I'm not gonna like do what you're telling
Yeah.
me. Like, so what are you gonna do about it? Essentially,
Yeah, yeah, and now
and
we
now
need
we
because
gotta wait for Thorfinn's response.
yeah, I don't Thorfinn can't get punched out of this one. So
No.
what will he do? What will he actually do?
Also, I want to ask you something. In this entire
Huh?
season, who do you consider the villain? And do you even think that there is a villain of this season?
Oh man, that's hard. That's very fucking hard. It depends if you because that's the thing with Vinland Saga and other scene in anime. We're actually following people,
Yeah,
persons, people who act rationally and isn't just Skeletor all the way.
yeah. It's
I'm
not just
evil.
Mr. Protagonist and Mr. Evil
Well,
Guy.
well, this is a good Sunday to do evil stuff. Again, where they in their own, sometimes in their own way, they have rational reasons to why they do things,
Hmm.
and you can understand why Canute is the way he
Yeah,
is
I would.
now.
You honestly, you could argue that Canute is kind of like a protagonist actually of this season, like alongside Thorfinn.
Oh yeah, yeah. I will. I'm on that one too. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I definitely felt like feel like in this season that we have two
Protagonist.
plots running. Yeah, two
Yeah,
plots running simultaneously.
yeah, where they
Um,
connect at the end.
yeah. Again, the one that I stand most with, but that's more a point of that's more a point of ideologies is definitely Thorfinn.
Mm.
So I would again if I was in the shoes of someone watching this and knowing all that has happened, I would definitely say Canute is the quote unquote very big quote unquote villain.
Mm.
But that's very much in the way that I have to choose a villain. I don't feel that there is a villain in that regard.
Yeah, there isn't an obvious bad guy that takes the villain spot.
No.
I agree that when it comes to like as the antagonistic force that you have to like prepare for and fight against, then Canute takes that role at some point in the story. But one thing that's interesting is the fact that Canute is never a threat to Thorfinn, actually.
No.
Because by the time that like he's going to make war against Ketil's farm, Thorfinn is essentially already a free man. Like essentially. So
Yeah.
at no point is Canute actually a threat to Thorfinn until Thorfinn makes himself into this position of becoming.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how their two stories kind of don't actually connect before these two episodes where Thorfinn decides that he's gonna involve himself in Canute's story. Like before that, they have their very own story.
Yeah. In that way, actually, Thorfinn is actually the antagonist because
he interrupts Canute's grand plan.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
at the cost of
Canute needs
victory.
to react.
Yeah,
It's Canute who needs to react to Thorfinn. Oh my god,
that's interesting to think about. Actually,
that's a cool turnaround. Damn. Damn. Who is the fucking guy who wrote this? Who's the master?
Yosuke Murata
mastermind?
or something like that.
Who?
Yosuke Murata. Yeah, I'm probably saying his name. 2 seconds. I'll find.
Yeah, let's get that guy.
The author of the legendary
Yeah,
author of Vinland Saga.
Yeah. We have praised Mappa a lot, but
yeah, let's actually praise the author.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. Yeah.
Makoto Yukimura.
Damn.
He is a god.
He is a god. He's a storytelling god. Yeah.
Yes, that he is.
Damn.
You know, I heard him.
Thank you for writing such a masterpiece.
You know, I saw an interview with the guy some time ago, and he said that he'll soon be finished with Vinland Saga, and once he's done with that he has now that he's made this series about the past, he's going to go to the future in his next series. So he's going to make it go sci-fi.
Fiction. Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see.
That's my cup of tea.
So look out for his next manga.
Yeah. Cool.
And well, by the way, one thing I want to bring up, I mentioned once before that I think that the anime is a better version than the manga, like in general. But you know who agrees with me?
Who?
Makoto Yukimura.
Oh
he
my
said
god!
The same thing.
What?
So me and him we're on the same mindset there.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So suck it, Commanders. The author agrees with me.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh well. What will Thorfinn do in the future?
Yes. How will he get out of this predicament? How will he bring peace to the world? Will Canute make a paradise by stacking corpses? Find out next Vinland time and next Vinland
episodes.
Vinland episode. Yeah, I tried to do the bad thing. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I tried to be funny, but I'm not a funny guy. You're supposed to be the funny guy.
Man. Don't.
You're the one who's supposed to make jokes.
Aww.
You see, I'm the brains, and then you're the humor. You see?
Ah.
That's why do you think I brought you on? You're the funniest guy I know.
Fart jokes.
Okay, this is what we.
Oh well.
With.
Yeah.
You know, I really hope we're not gonna end up like being known as the two unfunny Danish guys that talk about anime on YouTube.
At least we will be known for
You know what?
something.
You're right. We'll be nervous.
The two unfunny Danish men who talks talks about anime.
Yeah.
Not the worst.
You know, that's not the worst legacy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was it for these 2 episodes. We're looking forward to the climax.
Woo!
The next episode will be the last episode of Vinland Saga, EpiTalks, Season 2. We'll, I'm just gonna assume we'll pick this up once Season 3 gets out. But we'll see. And so yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.